Well, with the Leaders Podcast, People, Purpose and Progress with me, Simon Chris Makang. I'm excited that I'm going to have a conversation at the UNESCO 11th Africa Engineering Week. Turyagumanawe. It's a pleasure to have you on the Leaders Podcast.
Thank you for hosting me.
One would wonder, why are we here?
We are co-hosting the 11th UNESCO Africa Engineering Week and the 9th Africa Engineering Conference here at Munoz Peak Resort. And we have different dignitaries from different parts of the world, specifically Africa. We have people from South Africa, Lesotho, DRC, Tanzania, and the beach of West Africa, but also Egypt and Ethiopia. They're as well participating in this week-long event.
What is the main objective of this event?
The main objective is first to build a network, but also to spark the engineering hunger and relevancy to the economic sector. Like our theme has been stipulated clearly, it's leveraging engineering for socio-economic transformation in short. And it speaks to the main objective of this conference, bringing together all African players to foster engineering growth and infrastructural growth at a whole different level, but also industrial growth.
You know, when you speak about engineering in the shaping or formation of society, you'll find that engineering is finding a solution to the society problems. And when you look at enforcement, law, executives, that is putting whatever that has been created into implementation and then drawing penalties for those that violate whatever innovations that have been created. But now when you look at this event, what does the absence of an event like this look like?
First of all, there is operation in silos. There's no cohesion in terms of achieving the key objectives within the engineering sector. And that really creates a huge predicament in terms of the journey and the time lapse, in terms of how achievements should be made within what's turnaround time. So it's a lag on not only Uganda as a country, but Africa as a continent. So to leveraging these big platform brings together all stakeholders to build a cohesion and avoid silos and break the silos. But also, you know that the host ministry actually for this particular event is the Ministry of Works and Transport that is headed by General Katumba Wamala, and we're co-hosting. So this also is an example of Uganda coming together, having ministries. In history, you can bear me witness, we've not seen ministries coming together to co-host or to build a platform as big as this and make it a success, where even foreign players are involved and actively participating. So this is a huge achievement, not only for Uganda, but also the African continent. But also it's also an opportunity for Uganda to benchmark on the different engineering approaches that have been undertaken. In Ethiopia, just recently, a huge mega dam was launched, and comparisons and narratives have been built around it in terms of the capacity that it has to serve the nation and the surplus. That means it will be a spillover effect within also the region. And there are other different infrastructures that have really made a breakthrough on the African continent. Just recently, our stadium has been revamped, the national stadium, but also we built another stadium, the Hoima Stadium.
Yeah.
Among that, there's roads, there's airports being revamped and rebuilt, and this all, in the macroeconomic perspective, works interchangeably, or it's intertwined. One cannot survive single-handedly. So the need for building cohesion for economic growth remains very, very vital. This is how you attract tourism. This is how you attract foreign direct investment. This is how you attract partnerships that drive sustainable engineering on the African continent.
I honor your vast understanding of this industry. Coming from the journalistic background and you're speaking this kind of language, it's very impressive. Let's speak to this event, the 11th UNESCO Africa Engineering Week. Over this conference, Elijah, what do you want people to remember about? One, the exhibitors who are coming, the people who are coming to check in, the players, and also a layman Ugandan. What do you want them to remember after this event?
I think the key thing that should sink into every Ugandan is that engineering is in almost everything. Just like science, technology, and innovation is, engineering is equally in almost, like I said, 80% of the things you do. This paper cup that I'm using to take coffee, this table, this chair that we're seated on, the microphone that we're using to speak, it's all engineering. These are all byproducts of engineering.
True.
And the percentages might vary. It could be like 40, 50% of engineering, 60% of engineering, until 80% of engineering. But we must acknowledge that engineering is almost in every aspect. And engineering is here to solve problems. Engineering is not simply the manufacturing or establishment of mega infrastructure for national growth, but it also goes into the details of our everyday life consumption and everyday life ways of doing things. And we're leveraging engineering particularly to create jobs for the young people. You realize that one of the key economic predicaments that Uganda is still struggling with is job creation, employment for the young people. We have a huge population that is dominated by young people, and government is still struggling to create jobs for them. And engineering brings the solution. How you leverage engineering determines how many jobs you will create in a particular given period of time.
How did you start to speak like this?
As I've always spoken like this. I think it also comes from your accumulation of knowledge. I've been with science, technology, and innovation for 2 years now, but I'm a graduate of economics, so clearly I understand the economic trajectories and aspects that do contribute to economics. And given a bigger platform, I could give you more information and more government approaches that, if well implemented, keyword well implemented, could give us the economic leap that we want.
Did you ever know that you will speak like this?
Okay, enough of the compliments. I've always spoken like this. But the key thing is, what I did is I took a deliberate transition. If we're moving into my personal journey, in 2022, that's when I decided to join Science, Technology and Innovation. After the Minister for Science, Technology and Innovation reached out to the Honorable Dr. Monica Msenero, who is a very, very good leader, very kind-hearted, and a good steward for Science, Technology and Innovation, patriotic at that, and at the center stage, the frontliner in ensuring that Uganda achieves an economic leap that we are all battling to achieve. So when I got this opportunity, I did not hesitate. I grabbed the bull by the horns and said, here I am, I'm ready to serve. You and I know that even from my earlier days in the newsroom, I've always loved my country, Uganda.
True. I remember you had a Uganda flag tie. Black, yellow, and red.
I've always had that.
You've always had
I've always had it. I've had it since 2019.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's one of my favorite neckties. But that alone does not speak to my patriotism or my love for the country, because anyone could put that necktie on. But my contribution right from the newsroom was, I was very hungry and eager to see a better Uganda. After I returned from my study break from journalism, in graduation, I was determined to come back home and create an economic impact from what I had learned. How will I implement it? How will I cause an economic impact? Because one of the main challenges, you cannot empower a country unless you've empowered them economically. Even at micro level, you cannot empower an individual unless you've empowered them economically. So this, all we're doing, even at this particular platform, that the 11th UNESCO in Africa Engineering Week, what we're looking at, what we're talking about is we want money. We want, how do we attract money, more money in the engineering sector, in science, technology and innovation?
Is that appearing in every conversation that is happening here?
Absolutely, yes.
Because I've attended a couple of conferences and people are shying away from money. To be honest with you, many people want money, but the way they're asking for money, you'll have to go through behind doors and you feel like, no, but I like how you have put it, that we need money. The
main agenda is we need money. Even in the launch yesterday, our key prayer was we pray to God to give us more money as a country. So how do we attract foreign direct investment? How do we leverage engineering for industrialization that will give us products, will create jobs, will boost exportations and reduce imports? Because that's how the economy
grows. So
grows.
apparently, Uganda, we have the National Development Plan 4.
Or that was launched recently.
Yes, and 3, I think the theme is all the same, 3 and 4, which is value addition. And as STI, how are you contributing to that agenda?
The National Development Plan, NDP4, is where the different government approaches have been stipulated, but also in collaboration with the Vision 2040 is where the government approach to achieve an economic leap is also embedded. And those, hence the ATMs, where agro-industrialization, tourism, mineral development, where oil and gas falls, and also science, technology, and innovation. So science, technology, and innovation is not mentioned at last by mistake or by chance. It's a critical driver to all of these other sectors. So it being the critical driver, like I said, science, technology, and innovation has the capacity. It's the only sector of the economy with the capacity to turn around things in ways economists, scientists, even scientists themselves sometimes, politicians cannot completely comprehend with research and all other evidence put together. So with this economic capacity to turn around things, this is what we want to leverage. When we do research, we make sure that there's a scientific process, but we do not entirely draw conclusions that this is how much money we're going to be able to get. Because even when we say that in the economic leap we're targeting $550 billion, the possibility that you can hit way beyond that is way high, because science, technology, and innovation is unpredictable in so many ways. We have Kira Motors on board now with the expo happening this week. The e-mobility expo is happening this week at Kira Motors in Jinja. Uganda is producing e-cars, smart cars that are environmental clean, and they're already on the road running. You've seen them with the
when we listen to conversations like this, STI, science, technology, and innovation, partnering with Kira EVA, what do people miss out from that? When people hear you speak like we are manufacturing what?
Cars, buses.
Yes. What do people
cars.
miss out from that statement?
There is so much, and I think there's a concept that we've studied at the Secretariat, which is dubbed the black box concept. It shows that pre-colonialism left us black boxed. Black boxed is you're given particular information and shielded from certain information, which information is very critical for economic growth or socio-economic transformation. And it's very evident in our academic systems, in our education systems. So we were designed with the academic system that was introduced to us, with the different political and social systems that were introduced to us during the colonial times, to be consumers. And unless we break that, we shall remain consumers for a very long period of time. You can see it in debates that Ugandans make. I'm not saying that I'm the smartest person out here, but all I'm trying to say is it's very evident that someone engineered this to be the way it is, and someone wants to maintain the status quo of upstream poverty and outright lack of knowledge.
How is STI contributing to breaking that cycle and reversing the narrative about it?
We are action oriented. We are doing things. We're making sure that we coordinate science, technology, and innovation to see that Kira Motors can work independently and without so many bureaucracies and all. It's the most and the fastest private company that I can speak of right now in Uganda. We're working to see that the manufacturing of drugs and vaccines along Matuga Road is very efficient and works with utmost capacity to supply the entire region.
Actually, I was curious to know that how does a Monday look like at STI?
A Monday?
Hey, how does it look like?
We are not just staff or employees or government staff. We're not typical government servants. We call ourselves rangers.
Rangers?
Yes. And we've undergone very intense and specifically designed syllabuses that make us the way we are, make us rangers, qualify us to be rangers. We've had drills that are for physical training to build resilience and mental capacity. We've built our intellectual capacity through reading books that we believe can build transition, not only for Uganda, East Africa, but also on the African continent, and make the world better. We've done so many things to make sure that we are not the typical government servants. And to break that, we have that makes us very easy to partner with private sector, but also remain government servants.
Every generation has its own problems, and every generation must find solutions to their own problems. This generation is trying as much as they can to provide solutions to these current problems. How are you working with the youth? Is STI open to innovators? Is STI open to people with their solutions to the current problems?
Yes.
How are you working with them?
We are working closely with, actually the biggest innovations that we have are new innovations, new young innovations from young people, brilliant minds in Industry 4.0, pathogen economy, mobility, infrastructure innovations, productivity acceleration, import substitution, to mention but a few. We are working with young people through the platform that we created, and this platform is called UG Innovates.
UG Innovates.
UG Innovates. It's been running around schools, high schools, universities, but also you can approach us via any platform, social media platforms, website, Instagram.
I was going to ask you, how do you source for these innovators?
They can reach out on all platforms. All our platforms are open. Be it digital, but also our head office is at Naguru, Block 106, Katalima Road. And you can walk in anytime, any day. We have an open day policy, or you can walk in and bring your innovation, and you'll be given an ear. So clearly, we are determined to serve Uganda differently and better, with brutal integrity.
What challenges you the most?
In terms of
your execution of the responsibilities you have at STI and personal.
I think the biggest challenge could be not necessarily personal, because I think we're mixing the conversation both personal and my professional life.
It's people, purpose, and progress.
Yes. So I think what challenges me on a professional ground would be how some Ugandans are comfortable with the status quo. The idea that as long as I can go out, get what to eat, come back home and sleep,
and wait for another day.
And wait for another day, that is sufficient.
Live through.
And any animal can do that.
And it's like you are born and lived and died.
Exactly, and died. Any animal can do that. The dog does that. Cows do that.
At least dogs give us security.
The chickens and cows
will
do
eat them.
do the same thing. So what makes it different from that, from the animal, is that for you have a purpose.
True.
You have you're purpose driven. The reason you're still alive today is because you have a purpose to fulfill. And until you fulfill that purpose, then you are, or if you're not living to that purpose, then you become dead alive.
Do you know most of us live without knowing why we were born?
I think it's very, very critical and very important as early as possible, and this goes out to the parents as well, to ensure that they guide their children to know their purpose as early as possible. Because the earlier you get to know your purpose, the better for you, because you start pursuing it at an early age. By the time you are 25, 30, you're already grounded. You've built a strong foundation with principles. Because let me tell you, the hardest thing to lead, because this is a leaders podcast, right? The hardest thing to lead is the individual, yourself. Until you've led yourself, you can't lead anyone else.
I like how you've said it. The hardest thing to lead is yourself, because before you go out to lead others, you must have worked on yourself.
So if you subdued to personal desires, sexual desires, food desires, sleep and comfort desires, personal or social desires, where you end up being segregative or sectarianism or tribalism or whatever it is. If you can't break those desires, because that's personal leadership.
You know, somebody told me that
alcoholism,
the true definition
drug addiction,
of financial discipline is the capacity or the ability to work on the things you have talked about, the personal desires.
Let me tell you, more often than not, human beings pursue, or people in business, whichever career, politics, social, they pursue money. And then they forget that money is only a simulation of the spiritual world. It's a simulation of you, because you're not turning. If I say Simon Chris Makanga, you're not what I'm saying. You're a spirit. So if you pursue money, because money is it's a physical thing. So whatever you see in the physical realm is a simulation of the spiritual realm. Is a simulation of your being, as Simon Chris Makanga, your spiritual being, not the physical being.
I like this conversation about simulation.
Yes, because we're speaking science now. And now I'm speaking simulation.
Simulation.
Although not aviation simulation this time. So there are 5 grounds that we've trained as rangers at the Secretariat to build capacity. The first one is emotional capacity, intellectual capacity, social capacity, spiritual capacity, and then the physical capacity.
Oh.
There are 5. And if all of these are aligned properly, there is no way human being is going wrong. If you lead yourself in those 5 aspects, you can never go wrong.
What motivates you?
Money will come, friends will come, leadership will come naturally because you've managed to lead yourself.
Wow.
And leadership is not titles. You'll agree with me on that.
Absolutely, yes.
There are leaders. Have you read the book? I don't know. There's a book I saw. I never read it, but I saw the title. Leaders with no titles.
It's not titles. It's not. If you go for the titles,
a leader with no title.
you know what happens if you go for the titles? They will lead you instead.
Exactly.
So what motivates you to wake up every day and go to STI office?
I think what motivates me is my contribution to the world. And the saddest thing is a potential gone to waste or talent gone to waste. I have grown to believe I'm a very talented young man, absolutely talented in so many ways. Music, sports, leadership,
Communication.
even modeling, just to mention that.
That I didn't know.
So I have so many. I've not done it, but I believe I can do it. Even singing, even dancing, I can do it. Even soccer, I can play it. I believe I'm multi-talented. But it's also very important. Like I said, the first leadership is your leadership as an individual.
True.
However much I can do all these things, I believe managing my talents is more important. So, because I would end up doing everything and doing nothing. So managing it and knowing that this is where I want to be, this is the contribution I want to be. So based on the magnitude of the impact that I want to make through the being of my talents or the talents that I've been endowed with, is I have to guide all these forces, particularly and specifically, deliberately, to a specific direction.
How do you deal with the people you don't agree with as a leader?
Conflict resolution has about 4 different approaches, and I re-echo them every time I get an opportunity to people that are willing to learn about them. And based on the phases of conflict resolution, you can apply diplomacy, or softness. You can apply aggression, because all these are conflict resolution approaches. You can apply dialogue. And based on the nature of the conflict that you're in, because you can always read the room. That's what they usually use, read the room. But as a communicator, I'm very hesitant about reading the room. I believe and always push for people to communicate very explicitly about how they feel about their issues. So speak up, be very clear, and leave no room for ambiguity. That's very important for a communicator.
Wow. Thank you so much, Elijah. And as we are concluding this conversation, still we are at Munyonyo Speak Resort, where it's the 11th UNESCO Africa Engineering Week.
And the 9th Africa Engineering Conference.
Yes. Speak to the people, lastly, in just a few seconds. What should they, or what are they missing? If they are not attending this event, what are they missing?
I think, let me speak particularly to the young people of this country. The idea that there are no jobs in the country, personally, I believe it's a fallacy, and it has been created by predicaments or shortfalls in mindsets. And that's why you've had people say, if you brought a Jew or an Israelite to particular nationalities, I don't want to mention them, one Israelite is equivalent to 10 or 20 of them. What makes them distinct? They don't have as much natural resources as they do. They don't have as many talents as they do, or highest IQ to say. But because they are prepared and they've been very deliberate about what they want, and this is all as a result of mindset. So it's very important that the young people of this nation keep their antennas up right from initial stages whether you're in school, in high school, primary, what are you doing? What contribution are you making to the country? Or are you just living selfishly? And when I say selfishly, I mean, are you just living, eating, sleeping, repeating? Because the matrix has to be broken for you to achieve different results. And the only way you can do this is all in your head. How do you change that? And make sure that you're making an impactful contribution economically, socially, to the society, to your surroundings, to your friends, to your family. What contribution are you making? And this specifically is going out to the young people of this country, the young generation. Wake up, pay attention to the different government programs. How do you benefit from the different programs? I've mentioned the 8 thematic areas. Where can you plug in? We are always open, we're always here. Very few people are approaching us for assistance. Assistance doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be money, or it has to be funds. It can be, I can advise you on how to go about your creation, your innovation. I can advise you on how to go about the society, about your personal life. Because what I said earlier is leadership starts from the individual to you as a person. How are you leading the person of you? And how you're leading the person of you will inadvertently trickle down to how you're leading everything else. Other people, your surroundings, your home, your school, and how you're relating with people. That's my main message to you, and I do thank you very much. I think
wow, that's beautiful, Elijah. I like how you're speaking, honestly speaking. These are the conversations we always have here at the Leaders Podcast. I like what you've just concluded with. Everything you're doing starts with the mind.
Yeah.
But then the question is, what do you do with your mind? What I want to leave you with is that when they tell you that everything starts with your mind, find the space and have a conversation with yourself. Because when you have a conversation with yourself, you're speaking to your mind and your heart. And then after that, you'll get instructions that will make your hands busy. And then what you do turns out to be money.
Well, as we conclude, the slogan at STI is
Yes.
making Uganda the best. When you approach us, we have the idea to market journey, where we take your innovation from ideation to market through different stages, from ideation to prototype, from prototype to viable product, from viable product to commercialization.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's the journey. That's the innovation. That's the support journey that we created, and based on the nature of your innovation, we can classify you there and give you the support that you need.
Wow.
We continue to make Uganda the best.
Wow. Thank you so much, Elijah. We are proceeding. We are going to be having a couple of guests that are going to be appearing here on the Leaders Podcast as we journey around with the 11th UNESCO Africa Engineering Week, which started on the 14th to the 20th of this very month. My name is Simon Chris Makanga. May the good Lord of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob be with you. Until another video, for now, it's a bye-bye.